We're doing it. Okay. All right. Wow. Whew. Do I remember how to do this? I don't know. Oh, my iced coffee's all the way over there. That's gonna be a problem. Hi friends, how are we doing? Long time no see. It's so good to be making a video. I have been just thinking about this for way too long. I know I have said that before. It has just been a crazy couple of years, like I said last time. But I am really excited to be here today because I've got some channel updates for you all, as well as my thoughts about the Switch 2, or whatever the heck it'll be called, the successor to the Switch. So strap on in. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I am hoping to, not talk for ages, but we'll see. And then I think I might film another video right after this, so that way I can try to be a little bit more consistent, because I keep talking about this and I've just really been wanting to get back into YouTube and this community. So let's dive into things. First thing is, you probably hear my dogs barking. It's going to be hard for me to control them. I'll do my best, but if you hear them barking, I apologize. I also, of course, don't have an official mic because I need to be consistent before I justify buying anything, I think, to go promote the channel. So hopefully audio is okay, but if it becomes a huge issue, then I'll pick up something cheap just to make it a little bit more easy to listen to, because I think things are more affordable now than they were when I started my channel. Gosh, probably more than 10 years ago. I think I remember posting videos going to the Nintendo World Store in New York, which isn't even called that anymore, for the release of Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS. And now, of course, we are talking about the next system coming out after the Switch, which has been out for almost 8 years somehow. I don't know where time goes, but a couple updates from me. So I, of course, haven't posted in a while, trying to get back into things because I'm still active on all of the gaming things, whether it's like the subreddits or YouTube or just reading all the articles, getting excited about stuff, but I don't have anybody to get excited about it with. So I was thinking, I'm like, well, why don't I just go back to my community and get excited with everybody that I've been getting excited over games with for, over a decade. So that was one of the things, is I'm so excited about whatever Nintendo is bringing out to us. And then I'm talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, the craziness of that. It's like, I just want to have people to talk to about games again. So part of that comes from, I actually moved to a different country. So I am no longer in the United States. I won't talk about which country I'm in, but that has been a really big change for me. So I'm trying to find a new community out here. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons with some people that I met, which has been really fun, but don't really have people to get excited about games with. So hopefully we can get excited about them together. Now, as for Nintendo Switch 2, I've got my iPad here, so that way I don't forget any of the points that I wanted to make, because I've just been jotting stuff down as I've been thinking of it. I'll be honest, I'm not going to be talking about the tracking of shipments of different components for things. I know some people have been really in the weeds with that kind of stuff, and I just don't have that information. But what I want to talk about is some of the things I remember about the first Switch, and then some of the things that I either want for the successor of the Switch, or things that I think may happen, and then just some fun ideas that could or could not happen. Sorry, one of the dogs just came in to say hi. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. So as far as the Nintendo Switch 2, what are we gonna call this thing? I have seen people talk about the Super Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Super Switch. Could be called one of those things. I am kind of hoping they just call it the Nintendo Switch 2. I have PTSD from the Wii U, and I had a Wii U and I loved my Wii U, but of course we know that was like a whole fiasco. Not many people had a Wii U, and so I'd love to just avoid that, or even the confusion with Nintendo new 3DS versus the regular 3DS. All of that was so confusing. So it works with the PlayStation, right? PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Very clear. You can see which one we're on and we're good to go. Xbox is also very confusing with these things. So I think that some of those naming conventions, they're trying to be creative, which I understand and appreciate, but for the ease of the consumer, I think Nintendo Switch 2 makes the most sense. However, some things I was thinking of, because there's rumors about the Joy-Cons being magnetized to the Switch now, as opposed to having the rails that you snap the Joy-Con into. I have my Switch here. Well, one of them. This is my Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch. I know it has Skyward Sword Joy-Cons on it, but I have been taking this one on my commute to work, and I am just afraid of damaging the Tears of the Kingdom Joy-Cons because they're so beautiful and white and clean. And I actually, this is of course crazy, but you probably aren't surprised. I have backups of these Joy-Cons. I bought an extra set when I saw them just kind of a couple weeks after launch sitting around. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna buy these because that way I don't have to be afraid to use the ones that I have. So yeah, so I've been rocking the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons for the time being, and I keep looking over there because my Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller and dock are sitting on my desk. So I love them. But yeah, this is the Zelda Switch, and I have just like my insane 3DS collection. I've been definitely collecting the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con variations and some of the Switches. So if you want to see a collection video, let me know. I'm happy to do that. Anyway, so what could the name of the Switch successor be? Well, I thought maybe like Nintendo Switch Snap, because if the Joy-Cons are magnetized, they would snap on, maybe. The other thing that I thought of the other day was, what if the Switch, the whole like tablet, every edge of it is magnetic, and you can you can snap the Joy-Cons onto any side, and then you could potentially flip the Switch this way and have like a top screen and a bottom screen, and then all of your 3DS games could be played on the Switch, because we don't have the DS or 3DS like, not virtual console, what the heck is it called? Whatever they call now the collections on Nintendo Switch Online, like we have for N64 and Sega and Game Boy Advance, that kind of stuff. What if we had that for the DS and the 3DS then, and you just snap the Joy-Cons this way? It looks a little silly, of course, to play it that way, but you have your two screens, and then you have that whole backlog on the Switch. How fun would that be? So I was thinking, if you did that, you could call it the Nintendo Flip, because you're putting it this way, but then you could flip it like that and snap the Joy-Cons to the side that way. I don't know. That's just like pie in the sky idea that I thought of, but maybe the Nintendo Flip, maybe the Nintendo Snap, hopefully the Nintendo Switch 2. That would be the easiest, but we'll just have to see. So that's my ideas on the name. Now, as far as some of the things that we want to see, or that I want to see, that we might see, I love my OLED screen on my Switch. It's crazy how much, when I compare my OLED Switch to my older Switch, my Animal Crossing one, it's somewhere, there's a shelf here, and it's somewhere over there. But the older Switch, it to me now just looks like a toy, because the OLED Switch looks just so premium. So I've seen some rumors and things about maybe we'll go to an LCD screen as opposed to an OLED screen. I really hope they keep the OLED screen, because I love it. I love OLED on any device I can get it on. But if we had to go to an LCD screen, which some of the rumors point to for cost concerns, I at least hope that they keep it a glass screen instead of going back to the like plasticky screen that was on the Switch 1 to keep that premium feel. And as far as the screen goes and the tablet, I still think it's going to be this hybrid console where you can have it portable or you can link it up to a bigger screen. I, for one, feel like I always have my Switch in portable mode. I just always play it like this, or I'll put it in like tabletop mode with my Pro controller, because this does get uncomfortable. I was really heavy into the Splatfest this past weekend, which I'll talk more about a little bit later. But I was sitting there playing my Switch for like probably too long and my hands are starting to hurt, and I'm like, oh wow, I haven't had this pain. It's not real pain, it's just like uncomfortableness, but it's not something I've really noticed because I'll pick up the Switch to like play Animal Crossing for a little while, and then I'll put it down to do something else, pick it back up, and my Pro controller is so much more comfortable, so if I'm playing with that, it's fine. But I just was like really into Splatoon 3, like, laying on the couch, holding my Switch in my hands, and after a little while I was like, ooh, yeah, okay, this could be more comfortable. So maybe they'll make the Joy-Cons more ergonomic, a little bit more comfortable to hold, and maybe they will give us some other ways to play. So I know right now the charging port is on the bottom of the Switch, and so we have stands you can put it in so you can continue to play in tabletop mode and charge the Switch. Maybe they'll move the charger somewhere else. I think those little like quality of life things that are really small adjustments but make a big difference. I've seen Nintendo in the past do that with their iterations of consoles. So if we look at the original 3DS to the 3DS XL, even from the 3DS XL to the new 3DS, right? Each of those were small little iterations to the console, but those small changes had such a big impact. The next thought I have is about backwards compatibility. This, I think, has pretty much been as close to confirmed as possible, is that the new Switch will be backwards compatible, which is amazing because obviously we didn't have that with the Switch to the Wii U. They had to port all of those games over, which I'm glad they did because there's so many great games on the Wii U that I was just sad nobody would get to play, but then they moved them over, like Super Mario 3D World, where you get to play all together. Of course, any game that I can be Princess Peach as my character, I'm going to be a fan of. So that was really fun because I can always pick Princess Peach, and I loved it so much on the Wii U. When they brought it to the Switch, I was just thrilled. So if we can bring our whole catalog with us to the new Nintendo Switch, then, oh god, new Nintendo Switch. Please don't do that, Nintendo. Please don't name it the new Nintendo Switch to the Nintendo Switch 2. Then that will just be wonderful because you don't have to be afraid of buying games now because they'll work on the Switch 2. That also makes me think about the account system. Nintendo, I'm pretty sure, confirmed somewhere along the lines that the accounts would be like a seamless transition or something like that. But what we've kind of assumed from that is that your Nintendo account will just move to the new console and it will kind of work in tandem across both consoles, which would be great. It really hurt when Nintendo turned off the internet basically for the 3DS and the Wii U. And if we can avoid that, because they just continue to link those accounts moving forward, that would be great. Think about, you don't have to upgrade to the next console because the online support doesn't end. You can still use your regular Switch because it's all linked. Or you have a huge digital library and you still have access to that when you upgrade to the Switch 2. You don't have to go, oh gosh, well, if I get the new console, then I'm still going to use my old Switch for all of my games and I have this huge backlog that I haven't gotten through. You don't have to even worry about that. You can get the new console and still get through that huge backlog that you might have, or have access to all of those digital titles that you own. Same thing for physical. If you have the physical cartridge, you can put it into the new Switch. Just like the DS to the 3DS, it was the same thing. Your DS games would work on your 3DS. It wouldn't work the other way around, but you could bring your old games forward with you. And I think that was a huge win because it makes it a little bit easier to buy the new system if the launch titles or the first year or the first couple years, however long, and doesn't have many new games, you can still play all of your old games on the new system. That does beg the question of, well, then what's the point if they don't have any new games? Why would I buy a new system if I can just keep using my old one? Which I think is kind of the issue that Sony has right now with the PlayStation 5. There aren't a ton of exclusive games on the PS5, and it's been out for what, like 3 or 4 years now? I don't even remember how long I've had my PS5, but I do know that I don't even know if I own a singular exclusive title for the PS5. I haven't bought Astrobot yet. It's on my list. I want it. It looks so fun. But the Switch, we don't want that to happen to it, where now it's, okay, well, what's the point of buying the new console? Because I've already got the old one and there aren't any games for the new one. I think Nintendo might have to be a little bit strategic and creative on how they handle that situation, because they're coming from a time where the Wii U was such a flop failure. I hate using those words for Nintendo, but really it just missed the mark in a lot of ways. There was a lot of innovation and creativeness with the Wii U, but the marketing just did it a total disservice. So how do we avoid that happening again with the Switch 2? I think Nintendo is thinking a lot about that because of that experience. They have not forgotten what happened with the Wii U, so they're going to be very careful about how they market this new device. As far as performance goes, people I've seen are speculating that the new device will have the performance somewhere in line with the PS4, PS4 Pro, which for Nintendo, pretty positive. The current Nintendo Switch, again, I don't know how the heck it is almost 8 years old. I feel like it just came out yesterday, and I played Breath of the Wild for the first time and was blown away. But obviously that was a long time ago, a lifetime ago in the world of gaming. So I think we'll probably have increased FPS, have to. I hope that the new device plays some of those older games that really struggle on the Switch. I'm thinking about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. I switched those. It sounded weird, didn't it? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Why does that sound better that way? I don't know. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, some of those scenes I'm sure you're thinking of where you get to a part of the game and you're just like, how did this make it out of quality control? But if the new Switch can play those games better, that would be another reason to upgrade and still bring your old games with you, wouldn't it? So hopefully that happens. I've heard speculation about 4K, about the dock, maybe up-resing the games onto the TV so you have better performance when it's plugged in. So of course, increased power, increased FPS, increased graphics in games, potential for the power of everything to be higher is all positive. How far will they go? That I don't know. But, wow, that rhymed. But I think any improvement will be positive for Nintendo. I have heard that there are going to be 2 SKUs at launch, so 2 different barcodes, which means 2 different items. They are different enough to be rung up differently at a store. If you remember, the original Switch also had 2 SKUs, so it was just the colors. Remember, we had one where the Joy-Cons were both gray, and then we had one where it was the neon blue and the neon red Joy-Cons on the Switch. So those were 2 different models. So we could run into the exact same thing where this new Switch 2 has 2 SKUs and it's just 2 different colors. Maybe one is gray, like the original, or black or whatever, and then maybe one's colorful, maybe one is black, one is white, like they did with the Wii U. Another thought that I had was, what if they do a Wi-Fi only version and then a like 5G version, or whatever G we're at that point in time, one that has data capabilities that you could either through your Nintendo online account and purchase, the subscription to the data. That would be tough, I think, for Nintendo to create that whole infrastructure. Or maybe it goes through your cell phone provider, which would make more sense, just like you would with like an iPad or an Apple Watch. I'm an Apple girly, of course. So those are my examples, but same thing I'm assuming with like Samsung tablets and whatnot. So what if those were the two SKUs? We had one that was just Wi-Fi and one that you could connect through your data. I think that would be really cool because, for one, the Switch, it's made to take with you, to be portable, to go places. So although, you know, most of the games you don't have to rely on Wi-Fi, some of the games, like I was thinking about Splatoon this weekend, if I wanted to go somewhere to play it, well, I'd have to have a really strong Wi-Fi connection to do that. But if my Switch could connect to its own network or to, you know, the data, whatever the heck you call that, but that would be really convenient for those times where you want to take it somewhere and not have to rely on Wi-Fi. Just a thought, no idea if that would ever happen, but I was just thinking it would be cool. Another cool feature that I would love to see on the Switch and that I hope we have on the Switch too is Street Pass. I absolutely love Street Pass on the 3DS. If you're not familiar with Street Pass, this was a feature on the 3DS where you could basically put your console in sleep mode, so you just leave it on, close it, and then put it in your bag, your pocket, whatever it might be, take it with you. And if you walk past somebody that also has their 3DS in sleep mode in their bag, then the 3DS is actually like wave at each other, say hi, and then you have all of these fun little things you get. So you can actually, their little me comes up and you have this little interaction where you're like, hey, I'm Kate from, you know, wherever, and a little fun quip. And then you can actually get different like puzzle pieces, or their characters can go and play these fun little mini games with you. And so it was just a really, really cool and unique thing to have on a console. I remember taking my 3DS with me to New York and getting a ton of street passes, and it was just so cool and encourages you to take your system out with you to use it more. It's a fun little free thing that's ingrained to the system, and it just makes you feel like you're part of a community. Oh, I hope that they bring that to the Switch too, because it's so missed, and I would absolutely love that on my Switch. Another thing that I hope they pull from the 3DS is themes. We have dark mode and light mode, or whatever you want to call it, in the Switch options. There's a whole section for themes, but it just has 2. Why don't we have all of the fun themes that we had on the 3DS? I'm looking at my Pikachu 3DS XL right now, and I know on that console I have this cute little sleeping Pikachu theme, and it's just everything Pikachu themed, and it looks so nice with the Pikachu console, and it just, you open it and it's like this silly little thing, but it just brings me so much joy. Why don't we have that on the Switch? They charge money for them. They can make money. People will pay for this. I will pay for it. I would absolutely buy themes and want to switch my theme. Princess Peach Showtime. If there was a Princess Peach theme, when I'm playing that, you best believe I'll have the Princess Peach theme on my Switch with Princess Peach Joy-Cons. If it's the new Pokemon game that comes out, like, I would switch my theme for whatever game I'm playing because I am psychotic. But I know there's other people out there that would do the same thing. People change their phone backgrounds all the time. They change their computer. They're constantly trying to do like different fun layouts. Even Apple, again, going back to them, they're now with their new iOS allowing you to customize things some more. People love to customize things and make it feel unique and like it's their own. So please, Nintendo, please bring themes to the Switch too. Okay, I know this video is really long. I don't know how long I've been talking, but it's feels like a long time and too long. So the last thing I'll talk about are some games that I think might come out pretty soon with the release of the Switch 2. And I guess, well, I should, before I talk about that, talk about release times, right? There's speculation that the Switch 2 could be revealed this week. So it's Monday, September something. Monday, September 16th today. And there's speculation that it could be revealed on the 18th or the 19th. Next week, the new Zelda game comes out. So pretty much would assume next week is off limits. It's not going to happen. I'm even a little bit speculative about this weekend happening. Of course, I would love for that to happen, but with Echoes coming out next week, Are we going to see a Switch 2 reveal now? I just don't know, but it would be great. I would love to know because it's killing me. I'm constantly just looking for Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 updates or leaks and things like that. So could it be this week? I hope so, but we don't know. There's other rumors about it being early October that we see a reveal. There's been word about a trailer, being filmed. So there's all kinds of stuff out there. And then people are speculating a March to May 2025 launch. It would be really cool if it came out in March, just like the original Switch, but for some reason people are leaning toward April. We'll see. There is, with Zelda coming out, a limited edition Switch Lite that, of course, I have pre-ordered. I'll try to get an unboxing up. I'm actually in America for that weekend, so it just will be slow, so I don't know if it's worth it or not, but if you want to see that, let me know. So anyway, that's the release or reveal time frame speculations out there. What about games? Well, with Splatoon 3, the last Splatfest happened this past weekend, so I wanted to film this video over the weekend, but I was just like too engrossed in Splatoon 3 and playing the Splatfest because it was the last one. So with that being the last Splatfest for Splatoon 3, well, now what? I think Splatoon 4 is going to come to the Switch 2 sooner rather than later. If you remember, Splatoon 2 came out the first year that the Switch was launched, so it's not unreasonable to think that Splatoon 4, because we had 2 Splatoons on the Switch, which don't understand that still to this day, but oh well. So Splatoon 4, I think, will be coming out first year of the Switch's timeline. Will it be a launch title? That would be nice. I don't know. It came out, I think, like August of the first year the Switch was out, if I remember correctly. It was July or August, somewhere around there. So Splatoon 4, I think, first year. Mario, it's got to be some kind of Mario game. We got Mario Odyssey the first year of the original Switch. I think it was, September or October. I'm going off of my memory, and my memory is very unreliable, but I remember being in that fall timeline the first year of the Switch release. So Mario, I think, is a given. The new Pokemon game, Legends ZA, I think will be on the Switch 2 and the Switch. So I think that first year will probably have some crossover of, okay, some of these games you can buy on the Switch or the Switch 2, kind of like how they did with the Wii U or the Switch with like Breath of the Wild and things like that. But I think Nintendo is going to make that very limited, again, because they don't want to run into the problem that Sony's having, where people won't buy the new console because what's the point? The old console plays all the games and it plays them just fine. So I think Splatoon 4 will probably be an exclusive to the Switch 2. Mario game, I think, will be an exclusive to the Switch 2. I think this new Pokemon game is going to release probably earlier in 2025, so that will be a Switch or Switch 2 release, especially because I'm pretty sure, again, I'm going off my memory, but I think when they revealed that Legends ZA was coming, I remember something, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but something in the trailer or the like little image that they put out saying coming to like Switch systems in 2025 or the Switch family or something like that. That was weird, but it was enough to make me think, okay, it'll probably be cross-gen. As for a game I would love to see come to the Switch 2 in the first year or very, very early in the system's life, a new Animal Crossing. I still play New Horizons every day. I'm crazy. I know a lot of people got sick of it, but I am not one of those people because Animal Crossing is definitely one of my favorite franchises. I have spent so many hours playing it, and one of my favorite things about buying a new Switch, and one of the ways that I somehow justify it in my head is, oh, I can make a new island for Animal Crossing. And yes, I have had that thought about the new Zelda Switch Lite that comes out next week. I'm like, oh, I get to make a new island, because I can't just restart my island because I just get so connected to it and I don't want to lose everything. But then I also like to go through the beginning stuff and have new villagers and things. I don't know, I'm weird. But I've also had that thought about the Switch 2. I'm like, oh, if I can play New Horizons on the Switch 2 because it's, you know, backwards compatible, then I can have an island on my Switch 2 as well. I have a lot of problems, but we're not going to address those in this video. So a new Animal Crossing game would be so great. It's only been 4 years. It'll be 5 years next year, of course, since the last one came out. That is a little bit quick for an Animal Crossing game. Unfortunately, you know, we waited from 2013 when New Leaf came out on the 3DS. We waited until 2020 for the new Animal Crossing, so that's 7 years. And I don't remember how long in between the other versions. I think Wild World was, what, like 2005? And I don't remember the original one, maybe 2001, something like that. And then I don't remember when the one on the Wii came out. Like, I don't know, what are we thinking? 2007, 2008, something like that. And tighter timelines than I think the wait between New Leaf and New Horizons. So we never got one on the Wii U. So maybe we'll get a new Animal Crossing on the Switch 2 early rather than late. I don't know. That might just be wishful thinking, but that's some of the games I think that we might get. Because this video is so long, I will not continue down other games. But if you want to see some more of my thoughts, predictions, wish list items for the Switch 2, let me know and I will put another list together and get another video out there. That's where I'm going to end this one. If you enjoyed this, please, please, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, throwing a comment down below. If you've made it to the end of this video, wow, congratulations. Let me know what game you want to see on the Switch 2 in the first year of its life, or even what feature you want to see of the Switch 2. If you have any fun name ideas, that'd be fun too. Leave something down below and we can talk about it. But anyway, I'm so excited to be back. Hopefully I can be more consistent. I'm really going to try my best to not have such a long hiatus again because, again, like I said, I've just been missing this community and all of you guys and talking about video games, which is just what I love. So subscribe to my channel if you think I'm awesome, because I think you're awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.